Hey everybody. So I just had a pretty amazing moment happen. Um, I have a mutual friend um, of mine and my ex's, and I actually met her through him. And since the breakup, me and her still talk, and we're still friends. And she's an amazing lady. Her name's Paula, and I've learned so much from her. She's so funny and so smart and just has the best stories about dating and stuff like that. She's hilarious. I love her to death. And so tonight I messaged her and we were talking a little bit about Christmas and about letting her know kind of what's been going on with my eyes and stuff. And then I asked her, "How's Dan?" And she told me a little bit that he had been seeing somebody out in Victoria and it didn't work out, and that, he was Dan. And I guess I was kind of quiet for a while, and she was like, "You still miss him, don't you?" At which point I went and I said, "Yeah, I do." And that conversation turned into this bizarre, weird Dan fest for me. I think for a lot of people who are in my life, like, they didn't really know Dan. They just knew him through me. And they basically, essentially, knew him for a week when he was here, and then they knew the Dan who broke up with me. They saw what I was like after the breakup. They saw how completely messed up I was and all that kind of stuff. And so they hated him. And so nobody really understands when I talk about him anymore. No one really gets it. They're just like, why are you still thinking about him? Why do you still talk about him? Like, he treated you like trash. Like, he broke your heart into a million pieces. And it's really hard to explain to everybody, like, this guy was my first true love. He was my first boyfriend. He was my first kiss. We weren't just boyfriend and girlfriend. We were planning a life together, and she totally got this. And we were just like bonding and meshing, it was just like ding. And so we were talking, and I was like, I feel like I'm stuck. I feel like I'm stuck in this time warp of missing Dan. Like, I just can't, like, I think about him every day, and it makes me angry because he doesn't think about me. He doesn't want me in his life. I tried to talk to him a couple of months ago and he didn't respond. So, like, why am I beating myself up over this? Why am I insisting on hurting myself over some guy who clearly is not interested in me? And she was like, I was telling her that I still have the dozen roses that he gave me. They're drying in my closet, and they've been there since he gave them to me. And every time I go put on one of my shirts, I see them sit there, and it just digs the knife into my heart all over again. And it's really hard. And she was like, "Did you ever climb on monkey bars as a child?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said she thinks that this kind of relates to life because you have a choice. You can either hang there on that one bar of the monkey bars until you're so tired and exhausted that you fall, or you can keep going and get to the other side. And with every rung that you make it across, you're taking another step farther away from the one that you were hanging on. Pretty good analogy, I thought. I was like, wow, that actually makes sense. Like, if I just get over my stubbornness, I could totally leave him in the past, which is what I've been trying to do for 8 months, And then I kind of got quiet for a little while longer, and I was just like, maybe there's more to this. Maybe this is not just so cut and paste. Because what has been missing from my life since Dan and I broke up? What did I do the second we broke up, the second everything in my life changed? I ran away from God. I stopped going to church. I stopped, communicating with God. I stopped seeking him like I'd been doing the entire time we were together, and months prior to that, and what I've been doing my whole life. And it's just like, maybe for the past 8 months it hasn't been Dan at all that I've been trying to find again. Maybe for the past 8 months I've been searching for my relationship with God that I had before this all even happened, And I was like, maybe I shouldn't even be on the monkey bars to begin with. I was never a monkey bars kind of girl. I would much rather have my feet on the ground. And I was like, maybe I just need to start walking up some hills, some dirt covered roads, hand in hand with the God who loved me way before Dan, the God who loved me while I was with Dan, the God who loved me when I screwed up with Dan, and the God who loved me when Dan broke my heart. Who was still standing there? Not Dan. It was him. It was God. It was God this whole time. And I was just too stubborn to just open my eyes and pay attention. 8 months. And it's pretty cool that God used Paula tonight to give me the God smack across the head, God moments like this are really amazing. It's amazing for the person who's experiencing it, and it's equally as amazing for the person who got to experience it with them. Paula is a part of this story now. Paula is a part of this very night, this very moment in time when I had my reality check, Do I miss my relationship with Dan? Of course I do. He was my first love. He'll always be my first love, and I'll always, look back fondly on that. But the more important relationship that I lost that night was my relationship with God, and that was my own doing. That was my own choice. That was me. I can't blame anybody for that but me. And it's about time that changed. And I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet. But I'm going to fix this. Maybe I could do something a little crazy in 2007. Maybe I'll date God. Maybe I'll date God until God brings me the right guy. Instead of wasting my time, trying to be with people who don't want to be with me, who don't want anything to do with me. Work on my relationship with him, and only then will you be ready for an imperfect human relationship. It's pretty exciting. I'm excited to see where this is going, and I'm excited that this is happening 5 days before the end of the year. Well, I just wanted to share that with everybody. I'm actually going to go write a blog on my website and kind of write this all down verbally. Manually, now that I have it out verbally. So, but I wanted to get this out there. And I hope you all keep me accountable to this, because we were not meant to walk this road alone. Y'all can stay back a little bit and let me and God have some time. But it's nice to know that there are people that care. Like Paula. Take care, guys.